When did your parents' dumbest fear almost get them killed? My parents banned video games from our house, as if that would stop me from becoming a school shooter. Not that that's what I wanted to become. I just wanted to play video games like every person in my grade level. Instead, I was the only sophomore in my entire grade who couldn't join a Discord server or understand gaming references. So while my friends were comparing kill-death ratios and planning Fortnite sessions, I had to pretend I was too busy with homework to care. Or when they asked for my gamer tag, I'd have to make an excuse like switching internet providers. At home, things were worse. Dad lectured me endlessly about how video games rot your brain and make you violent. Look at all these school shooters, he'd say, waving his phone at me. Every single one of them played violent games. Okay, but each one also drank water. Each one also breathed air, and they didn't ban that. When I tried to argue back, they went and added parental controls on everything. My phone couldn't download anything above rated E. Even games like pinball needed a password. They even called my friend Randy's mom once to make sure his house was game-free before letting me visit. Randy's mom had to lie and say they didn't own any consoles. Everyone thought my parents were insane, and I agreed, but Randy refused to let me suffer alone. With his parents' help, I got to play video games every Tuesday and Thursday after school at his house for study group. My parents loved it, bragging to other adults about how I chose books over staring at screens. Jokes on them. I wasn't being all responsible and academic. I was racing. Randy's brother was away for college, so we took turns playing Gran Turismo and Forza on his racing sim. I especially loved the realistic mode that made me feel like I was driving an actual stick-shift car. So for 2 hours twice a week where I could be a normal teenager without my parents ever knowing or finding out. That is until one day, while Dad was driving me and my baby brother to basketball practice, Dad suddenly started acting funny. He gripped the wheel tightly and started swaying the car. Dad? His mouth hung open as he stared out. I don't think, he slurred. His foot fell limp against the accelerator. Cars swerved left and right out of the way. Dad! I screamed. The car veered toward the drainage ditch. My instincts kicked into high gear. I grabbed the wheel with my right hand while using my left foot to push Dad's foot off the gas pedal, just like the left foot braking technique I'd learned in racing games. My little brother started crying the moment I moved the car onto the shoulder before finally stopping. I immediately checked on Dad. He was completely unconscious but breathing. I immediately called 911 with shaking hands. We're on the highway. Dad is passed out. Please send an ambulance. The dispatcher said an ambulance was 25 to 30 minutes out because of our rural location. I looked at Dad's pale face, then at my crying brother, and made a split decision. I'm driving him myself, I told the dispatcher. What? No, you're just a kid. I hung up. Then I pushed Dad's seat back, adjusted the mirrors like I'd done 1,000 times in the virtual world, and pulled onto the highway, matching the speed of the cars in the first lane. I kept it at 45 in a 55 zone, hazards blinking, staying in the right lane. Every move was deliberate. Signal, mirror check, smooth acceleration. Other drivers honked and one guy pulled alongside to scream at me, but I kept my eyes forward. I exited the highway and followed the GPS towards the hospital. At the red light, I made sure to ease off the gas early and smoothen the stop. But within 10 miles of the hospital, police lights appeared in my mirror. I pulled over, feeling both nervous and panicked, glancing over Dad. The cop approached angrily, already yelling at me even before I could roll down the window. But when he saw my dad's state of emergency, his face softened. Okay, kid, we'll continue this later. He and his partner worked together to move my dad and my little brother into their police car before rushing towards the hospital. At the hospital, the ER doctor patted my head and explained, only a few more minutes and your dad would have had permanent brain damage or worse, but now he's recovering well and should wake up in a bit. When Dad woke up, the officers explained everything to him. He was of course angry at first. You lied about the video games. You drove the car underaged. You were reckless and could have gotten everyone killed, but you saved me, followed all the road rules, apparently drove better than most adults. I'm so proud. He pulled me into a hug, crying and apologizing, which only made me cry too. Maybe you can teach me gaming too, Dad asked quietly. Dad never got good at gaming, but at least the old video game ban was abolished forever.